Today is number 76 to 100
Part
of our funny conversation starter questions.
Yes. Guys, this is the last segment of these questions. We've gone through all 1 to 100 in this video of these funny conversation starter questions. Remember that we're going to put the link to all these questions in the description down below. And if you want to go ahead and view the previous number 1, part 1, up here in the corner, go ahead and click there so you can start at the beginning and move all the way through 100 with us.
Can you follow IKEA instructions?
Yes.
No.
Frustratingly, but I can.
I can, but I choose not to. Is that a good answer?
This is why you're married.
Right.
I do the opposite. Derek doesn't like to do it, so I do it. What is your least favorite app? Flappy Bird.
I mean, I just don't go to one. The ones I don't like. You know, I don't have a least favorite one.
I do.
All of mine I like, or I wouldn't have them.
Flappy Bird sucked. Some guy.
I
shot his
remember
brother
Flappy
over
Bird. I remember Flappy Bird.
crazy,
It
for
went
real.
everywhere, though.
that. It did. It was super popular.
Your brothers were linked to that. I mean, like nuts over it. Okay.
Pokemon Go is another one I don't really like so much.
Pokemon anything.
Moving on.
Would you rather have room for growth or be perfect as is?
Room for growth. Always
Obviously.
room for growth.
Yeah, learning is phenomenal.
It's the coup de grace of life.
Yeah, and if you didn't have the ability to learn anything from now until the end of, that'd be
Suck.
horrible. Okay, no.
Nope. Would you rather live on Antarctica or Mars, assuming both could accommodate life? Mars.
Antarctica.
I don't like the cold. Whether it would accommodate life or not, I don't want to live in a cold
It's
place.
cold on Mars too. I mean,
look at the next question. Yes.
okay, next question. Were Ross and Rachel really on a break?
I love that we talked about Friends in the last video and it gave this question.
We were on a break!
So, yes, they were on a break, but being on a break doesn't mean you're broken up. Being on a break means that you're taking a breather from each other and
Right. separating
yourselves physically, not
I believe
mentally.
those were destined to be together, so break or not, they'll be back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yes, they were on a break.
Next, this section gives us funny yet deep conversation starters.
Ooh. What's one thing you've never told your best friend but will tell me? That's not fair.
Okay, first of all, you are my best friend, so that's
Right.
a little strange.
So let's tell them.
Okay.
So instead of telling our best friend,
Something
we'll tell
we've
them.
never told each other,
But we'll tell
we'll
them.
tell them. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, you first.
I am an extremely jealous person. Not jealous as in irritated and frustrated at the person, but I get jealous because I'm full of envy. So like my older brothers, I'm extremely jealous of both of them because they both own homes, whereas I'm still fighting to function and own my own home.
I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to succeed as well as I would like to once I'm in recovery now.
That's not true, Mom.
No, that's true. I am afraid that I'm not going to be able to
What do you mean is that
succeed
that's not the case?
as much as I
Almost
would
done, Mr. Nubbins.
Well, almost done.
Oh, Mr. Nubbins, Mr. Nubbins.
Well, okay, no more sap. If you had one day left to live, how would you spend it?
I would spend it with my family. I would go to a park. If I knew that I was going to pass away, I would go to a park and I would spend time with my kids. And my
Have a one day left to live party and have all of my family and the people I love around me.
Yes, one day left to live party.
Yeah.
Hashtag one day left to live. All right. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
My weight.
I would like to be able to eat bread. I would give anything
I can see
without medical trauma.
I have that same wish for you. If you had to have an extra body part, what would it be?
Another arm. I feel like I'm juggling too much all the time, like physically juggling too much at a time, and having an extra arm would definitely be helpful.
Another arm would get in the way.
Please don't.
Well, that's because you don't have any of those. I mean, I'm sorry. An extra arm would get in the way. I don't know.
What would you...
An eye in the back of my head.
That would be really weird and people would poke it. I don't
Be
know.
very cool though.
Did you ever do something really generous and no one found out?
But yeah,
Yes.
I've done stuff like that before.
The point is to not.
We
know
give
about it.
clothes to the kids at the church, and they don't know where they came from. A lot of the kids that come on the bus don't have like dresses. The girls, they just wear shorts and stuff to church. It's pretty sad. So we give a lot of our old clothes to the church so that the girls can have something to wear. You should never do something nice to get something in return.
Right. No
Yeah.
recognition.
If you were to trade bodies with someone of another gender for a day, what's the first thing you would do?
Helicopter.
Pee standing up.
Helicopter. Possible pencil sharpener accident. I don't know.
I would pee standing up for sure. I mean, there's no doubt.
If
in
it
my
was
mind.
wintertime, I would write my name.
Write my name in the snow. Right. That's terrible. I mean, guys, if this was said to a man, he could say, have a child. No. We say pee in the snow. That is how useful the male gender. You can stand up and pee in the snow.
Oh,
We can create human beings.
that was awesome.
Okay.
It's the greatest question ever.
Does fate exist?
Maybe. I don't know. I know everything happens for a reason, and
That's
that
what
was-
fate is.
Well, not necessarily. So,
But that's what fate is. Everything happens for a reason. That's what fate is. And I believe that too. What is the meaning of life?
love, connection, companionship. That is the meaning of life. Without it, there is no happiness. There's no.
I believe it's longevity, leaving something for the next generation. I would hate to go through my entire life without having an effect or touching one other human being that has an effect on their life.
Where do dreams come from?
I think dreams are wishes.
I think dreams
I
derive
think
from
you-
life experiences.
I think that you dream what you wish would happen. That's what I think.
I dreamed one time that I was kidnapped by the cast of all that. Did I want that to happen?
Now, I dreamed one time that I spent my whole day and night looking for my mom's lasagna, and no matter what I had to do, you know, I had to like go through a swamp with alligators. I am
Garfield.
not kidding, but you know. So no, I have no idea. Where do thoughts come from?
Well, the intellectual answer would be from your brain. But at the same time, I think thoughts come from what you see. So everything's connected. So what you see creates the thought, and then the thought comes through your mouth.
I think a lot of stuff derives from wishes because random thoughts that pop into my head are things that I wish would happen, or the way things I wish things would be.
I often find myself thinking of what I would do if I won the lottery. So I guess that's kind of true.
If a tree falls and no one hears it, does it make a sound?
Yes.
Yeah. It
Guys.
makes a sound. No one's around to hear it.
Right. Like if the house caves in and no one's
But
home,
that's an
does it make a
existential
sound?
question. Seriously, I mean that's a lot of college professors ask that question. So
Okay. Yeah. What should your gravestone read?
I don't know why this is the first thing that popped in my head. At least she didn't OD.
Awful. That's awful.
It's true. I mean, I was headed, y'all, for that very end. So, and I'm very glad that I'm not. But yeah, I would like it to read, you know, beloved mother, wife, friend, because those are all the things that I hope to be.
I think mine would say she did it all for her children. I think that's what I would want mine to say.
Right, but I mean that's a little untrue because I mean there's no shame in doing. I believe that you do a lot of things you do for yourself,
I do.
and there's no shame in that. So when you put she did it all for her children, that's just a little bit.
Anything I do for myself helps my kids. You have to think of it in the longevity, Mom. So
Right.
if I like the things that I do on like my channel and my SD and all of that, yes, it's for me. It gives me pride in myself, but it also generates an income and a future for my children.
Right.
So even though it is for me, including my health, I work on my health because I want to be a healthy individual. But at the end of the day, my health is what helps me raise my children. So everything is connected.
Until you become my age. I love my children, but everything I do now is not for my children.
Exactly. But,
I mean, and it won't, and it
but you
will
still
change.
do for us.
Right, I know
And so
I
does
do.
so does Dad. You guys, like, if I call you and need help, you're going to help. You came over here to clean, and while you were cleaning, Levi called and asked you to come clean him. Like, you still do for us.
Well,
So
that's because I love you.
exactly.
Okay. Is there life after love? Hey, Cher wants to know the same thing.
Do you believe in life after love?
Do you believe in life after love after love?
Yes. Yes, of course there is. I have loved and lost many times. She has loved and lost many times. There is life after.
Tis better to have loved and lost
To
than to
never
never
have
have loved at
loved at
all. Correct.
What
I don't
would you
understand
do-
this question.
What would you do in the prisoner's dilemma? What it means is that if I were to give you a situation where you would fare and everyone else would falter, what would you do in that situation?
That's a terrible, terrible question because that's like
Yes.
if you had an insane madman in the house and they told you that they were only going to kill one of your children. I mean, it's the same thing. I wouldn't do anything. I would probably falter and not allow anything to happen because I couldn't see the detriment of many people because of something that
I would probably
benefited me. It
I
couldn't
would
happen.
probably deny and pass away.
Yeah.
Because if you deny, normally that gets you killed.
Right.
But at the same time, I'd rather die with honor than falter everyone else.
Absolutely.
No.
I'm with you.
Situation-based funny conversation starters. Tell
Ta-da!
a funny but brief story.
A funny but brief story.
I'll tell a funny but brief story since she
Okay.
hasn't thought one yet. When I was a teenager, it was my junior year in high school, I was dating a person that my mother called the Weasel. And we had a party. My mom went over to her boyfriend's house and we had a party with about 5 people, 6 people, something of that nature. Well,
Wasn't that prom night?
yes. That evening I got very ill and I went to take a bath and I went to lay down in bed and I did not get dressed. And her boyfriend...
Oh my god, I remember this now.
And her boyfriend and her got home that morning. Her boyfriend, now ex-husband at the time, walked into my room to say good morning and found me laying on my bed completely without clothing on and about died.
He was flipping out. And he was very embarrassed and mortified and never lived it down and it was pretty bad.
All right, so what's yours? See, mine was very brief, but it was funny.
I don't know, my mom, she had partial dementia. She never forgot my father or myself, but there were times that she forgot people and situations. So we came in and I would say, do you know who I am? Yes, Melanie, I know who you are. Do you know who that is? I know Virgil. And I was like, okay, so do you know who this is? It's your husband. And I'm like, yes, but what's his name? And she's like, I'm like, okay, just take your time like we talked about or whatever. And she's like, Melanie, give me a break. You've had so many.
She has. She's only had 4. That's
So yeah, that was my brief but funny story, and it involved my mom. So yeah, she still had her wits about her to make fun of me, so we're good.
The next option is to make an observation. Jerry Seinfeld became rich and famous for his observational style of humor. Follow suit and find something funny to comment on. Just so long as your observation is not at someone else's expense. It's never good to make first impressions as a mean girl. Instead, start a conversation by saying something about the situation that you find yourself in, like a comment on what's for dinner or the temperature in the room. I'm sweating like a whore in church. It's an observation.
Okay, yeah, me too, but I'm not sure I would have said it quite that way, but I don't know, like, why do you have a pair of shoes but just one bra?
What does that mean?
Well, you have 2 feet and you have 2.
Oh, that's a good observation. Wow, I never thought of that before. So yeah, guys, do you know why do you have a pair of shoes but just a bra, not a pair of brassiere? I don't know. Let us know. Is that something you've thought of? I never did. That's the first time in 31 years, ever.
Have a little fun at your own expense. There's nothing like a little self-deprecating humor to help others out and put them at ease and leave those awkward silences in the dust. To start a conversation this way, look for ways to contextualize poking fun at yourself. If If you attend a formal event, for instance, and are underdressed, cracking a joke about how overdressed you are works perfectly.
Awesome. Well, if you're looking at playing an instrument, my ribs are great.
Yeah, and I never saw a cake I didn't like.
That reminds me of
Hey, I'm healthy.
Chris Farley. Chris Farley.
That's faux show.
Comedy.
I have a little bit of a weight problem.
little bit of a weight problem.
That guy in a little coat. That guy in a little coat.
Take it off, dickhead. I'm serious.
Richard, what's happening?
Okay, next. Start a round of truth or dare. Oh
Okay,
my.
guys, we're not going to do the last two are for groups of individuals during parties. So we're not going to go over
Yes.
and actually do these, but we'd like to give you some insight on them. So we're going to read through the information so you have this if you would like to use this information.
Mr. Nubbins. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're almost done. Do.
Start a round of truth or dare. So try to keep this light if you attempt the game. For instance, you might dare someone to order a glass of milk at the bar or ask someone to reveal an embarrassing secret from childhood. Try to refrain from anything inappropriate or something delving deep into someone's previous history.
Okay. Next, start a game of Never Have I Ever.
We don't play that in this house.
Read the room. Does it seem like a fun crowd? Are people willing to poke a little fun at themselves? This game can certainly get the party going and help you get to know one another a little or a lot better.
So if you guys never played Never Have I Ever, Never Have I Ever is a game, normally a drinking game, where you would have a drink and someone would say, Never have I ever, and they would say something that they have never done. The people who have done it, though, would need to drink. So the silly thing would be, Never have I ever shaved my head. I have never shaved my head, so
Nor have
anybody
I.
around us that has would need to drink. If somebody had said to me, Never have I ever dyed my hair, both of us would have
We'll be
to
drinking
drink
a lot. Yeah.
because we've dyed our hair, and that's kind of the consensus.
I've been dyeing my hair since I was 14.
Same. It's a lot of fun. These are just a couple of things that were on this list that we found interesting, but that was all 100.
I found something really cool though. I have to
What?
tell you, like
Okay.
on TikTok.
Okay.
If you are getting a recipe together, and you're pouring something like measuring honey, like into a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, and you know how you put that in there and you pour it out, how hard it is to clean. Okay,
like
so
butter.
if you've got flour, you take your measuring spoon and you go down into the flour until it's level, and then pick it up, and that little divot that's left in there,
Yeah.
you put the honey in there and fill it up.
What?
You do not have to use the spoon. You can lay it in the flour or sugar or whatever and make that little divot. And I felt so stupid when I saw that on TikTok.
That is awesome. Why does that have anything relevant to do with what we're going
The
over?
never have I ever. I never
Oh,
had ever known
okay.
that when I saw that. So yeah,
I feel like that would be just, that's awesome.
it is
I'm
awesome.
so angry
Okay,
right now.
it's a little tip for when you're cooking. But yeah, that I was like, oh, I felt so stupid.
Oh my gosh. All right, do you want to say the ending?
Okay. If y'all have not subscribed, hit that subscription button down below and the post notification bell so you can see every single time we upload on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yes.
And give us a like and give us a comment if you find something that you're interested in or just want to say hello.
Yes.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.